Alright, listen up. A lot of people say that the support role started to become broken and pretty overpowered when Brig released back in March 2018. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. However, in fact, I have some news for you. Overwatch was only capable of ever releasing one balanced support in the entirety of the game's history. Maybe two, because Lifeweaver Unreleased was terrible, but he is really good now. Basically, when Overwatch first launched, we didn't have Ana. She was actually a hero that released in July of 2016, and everyone loved her, even though she was overpowered and she created triple tank meta. But it doesn't matter. She was fixed, and then we were back to kind of the standard, right? However, in November of 2017, we got Moira. Now, a lot of people, when they think of Moira, think, oh, she's not very good. How could she be really problematic? And sure, maybe today her standard or her design isn't very controversial with how many other heroes can match a similar thing. However, back then, she was a huge deal. She was like the first major AOE healer or support who could genuinely heal an entire team at the same time, barring Lucio and Ana's grenade. But Ana had to use a cooldown, and Lucio's healing wasn't enough for it to be substantial. Therefore, Moira was our first real AOE healer. And this is where we should have realized things were going very wrong, because when she released, she was ridiculously overpowered. And the only time she's ever not been genuinely overpowered has been when there are other support heroes that outshine her. She's never truly been that bad, right? Like, she's been good. The problem is she just didn't offer enough utility, because she was supposed to be the tons of heals, not much else kind of hero. However, as Overwatch developed over time, we started to get heroes like Baptiste, who could do what Moira could do, but had tons of utility on top of it. And that's where things like Moira started to disappear, because the other heroes just did what Moira did, but did what Moira did better than what Moira did, which doesn't really make any sense, because Moira was built to do a specific thing, and they just instead added other heroes that kind of just did what Moira did, but better than what Moira did, meaning Moira didn't really have a place, which kind of sucks for Moira players. But it sucks worse for the game, because the game, clearly, when there was a lot of AoE healing, which was very apparent when Moira released, showed that this was not good for the game and should not be implemented way too much. The Blizzard devs said fuck you and decided to add basically everyone to have some sort of AoE healing, which was ludicrous. And that's why, well, that's one of the main reasons support feels so overpowered today. It's because it is. And it's all started with Moira. Because they didn't understand how to properly balance and design an AoE healer like Moira, it quickly sparked a chain of events which caused essentially every support since then, barring Illari, to become an AoE healer. Whether it be AoE burst, AoE sustain, it did not matter. Every hero released after Ana has been an AoE healer to some degree, barring Illari, of course. And this all started with Moira. And back then, Moira was really overpowered. Her orbs were too strong. She had just simply too much healing, too much damage. Everything about her was just too strong. And that's fine. Just a couple of balance changes will fix that. But it didn't change the fundamental problem with Moira's design, which made her a major AoE healer where she essentially could keep her entire team alive in one small burst of her heal, which was extremely powerful. That's when we started getting heavy brawl comps with things like Moira Lucio, where we would speed people in and the Moira would be able to basically solo heal the entire team because of how much healing she could actually output, on top of the fact that it was all AoE, meaning that she could put out enough healing to heal one person but be healing 5 at the same time. So the hero was ridiculous. And then, after we had Moira, we of course had of course, we had Brig, who I made a video on, who is still overpowered to this day. R/Brig mains, eat your heart out, suck my balls. Then, after that, we of course had Baptiste. How funny is that? We had Moira, insanely problematic. Brig, the most broken shit ever added to the game. And Baptiste, one of the most broken shit ever added to the game. Like, when it comes to Overwatch's design team, like it was Jeff Goodman, now it's Alec Dawson, it seems like neither of them fully understand what a support hero actually is, because they are yet to release one that has not been extremely flawed in their design. Barring Ana, of course. Ana is pretty perfect for support. Actually extremely well designed. However, everything from Moira, Brig, Baptiste, Kiriko, Lifeweaver, Illari, they are all insanely overpowered and horribly designed. Predominantly because they all have some sort of AoE heal. However, Kiriko technically does have an AoE heal. Technically she does, with her Suzu. However, if you don't want to call it an AoE heal because it's technically more of an immortality than an AoE heal, fair enough. You don't have to call it an AoE heal. However, I think that it should be kind of labeled as an AoE heal, or because it has a similar effect. Plus it does heal and it does AoE. However, it predominantly does, like, obviously make you invincible. So if you would rather call it an immort and not an AoE heal, totally fine. I understand. I would call it an AoE heal because that's technically what it does. Anyway, Overwatch 2 releases. Supports are in a horrible place. We're like, thank God Overwatch 2 is here. They're going to fix supports. Then every season, they got more and more and more broken. And they have been getting so every patch basically since Moira's release. So, when was that? November 2017? So, supports have been getting more and more broken every patch for about 6 years now. Which is hilarious, because I don't know how in 6 years you can't fix such a simple issue. But it is what it is. Anyway, I think to truly fix this issue, you need to remove... I think keeping Moira's AoE heal is fine, because that's literally what she is. She's the AoE heal hero. I think it is okay that she is the AoE healer, because that's what she is, and that's what she was designed to do, and that's all she does. So I think she's fine to be that. However, I think Baptiste needs his AoEs removed. He should not have any form of AoE. Brigitte should not have Inspire. That shit literally killed Overwatch 1. I think Kiriko Suzu should be removed. I think Kiriko in general should be removed. I did make a video on her about how literally every single part of her kit, from view model to hitbox to her fucking character design, her damage design, all of it is ludicrously overpowered and should be completely removed. The whole hero should get deleted. But everything from Illari, Lifeweaver Tree, the healing pylon, like all of it is all fundamentally broken and does not fit into the game. And if you disagree, I would love to hear why. Unfortunately, though, you are wrong. No, I'm only joking. If you disagree, I'd love to hear why you disagree, though, if you do. Because personally, to me, it's fairly apparent that Overwatch 2 and 1 is simply failing due to the AoE support heroes. Goodbye.